Hello everybody, this is Japhet from the Arc of Trading, and we're back at it with another episode of the Daily Top 10, the first one for March. I wasn't able to make one yesterday. Had a busy day, but I'm back now today with it. And today we're going to analyze the trending stocks, the top 10 trending stocks, and we're going to look at where price action takes us. So let's just jump right into our index right here on PSEI. And we look at the net foreign right here with a negative 336 million, but closing 46 points above for today, or about 0.68% on the upside. So we see that right here on our kind of a huge candle right on this, where it bounced on our support at 68.25 to 68.50. It bounced right off that, and it does want to test our trend line right here. It's finally wanting to test it, and it's testing it or approaching it with a huge move on the upside right here. So we should wait and see what happens, but I'm excited for this to just push up on the upside and potentially retest this range of resistance now at 70.80 to 7100 zone. So I'm excited for this to actually pierce through instead of get rejected once again like it did on the first and second try right here. I'm hoping that this pushes on the upside, especially since we see a formation of a higher low right here. So we have a symmetrical triangle and in a pattern right now going on, and we have a support level that is holding up, and we should wait and see whether it pushes on the upside or potentially get rejected right here before it bounces again from here. So we shall wait and see what it does, but a push on the upside this strong is a pretty good sign, but the market will do what it wants to do. So at least we have a level of support that it held for today at this range at 68.50. It bounced off of that. We closed at 69.19.54 today. So let's move to our first trending stock, which is Dito, where we see a break on the downside. So it decided that it wasn't pushing up, but it was like creating a lower high right here. It pushed down again. It didn't even touch the 17 price range again, but broke down below right away. And we are definitely on a downward bias right here, as we see a massive push on the downside. So it does want to retest the 14.73 levels. That's the closest one for now, and we shall see whether it forms a level of support right around this zone. So we are not sure yet what it's gonna do, but it definitely wants to retest this price range at 14.73. So it wants to retest that, and we shall see whether that bounces from there. So let's move on to our next one, where we saw a massive move for PHA today. We saw a 7% or 8% move on the upside, closing in at 3.14. Even with a negative net foreign today, we saw a high of 3.17. So that's a good move on the upside for PHA right here, with our trend line holding intact. And hopefully this one pushes up a little bit more and settles right around this area right here, where we drew sort of like a range, potential support area and potential definitely a resistance right now. So it will want to retrace on this area if it does break out in the next few days, but there is a higher likely that it will sort of like a little bit gap up a little bit tomorrow, because we see a good closing towards the end at the end of the day for this stock. So we might see a gap open tomorrow at around 3.2 or that price range, and potentially break above. So we shall see what it does, but great move on the upside while holding this support at around 2.9 to 3.00. So up next we have AR, where we saw a massive 50% gain for this, closing in at 0.00454. We had a low of 36 and open around that area, but we do see this massive push on the upside, breaking back in to our previous level of support at 0.0049. So there was a resistance around this area, so it was a support turned resistance, and it did break back in, ending this downtrend right here. So it did break above, and broke back into our level of support turned resistance, and hopefully it will settle right above this price point to create a healthy movement and not, overextend once more. So I hope it does pull back a little bit here. For sure, some people are gonna be taking profit if they bought around 0.003 price point, so watch out for that. Don't get trapped on the upside when it opens on a gap, probably tomorrow or a big push tomorrow. So watch out for the pullbacks and the build of support somewhere around this range at 0.0049, or if it does break above here even further, we should be watching this zone at 0.0063 to potentially be a level of support. So that was a resistance from way back in January. It's more than a month now, and it's trying to break that, or push towards that, and we shall see whether it gets rejected there or breaks above that price point. So let's move to our next one with APL, where we see a close of a negative 2.35%, closing in at 24.90. We are still on that this level of support held up, so we are still right below that gap level right here that we had. It's building a level of support there now. So what if we reset this chart right here, because we do see it holding right around this support area, this support zone right here, and we are seeing it hold this level. So this could be our new level of support with still a bias of a downtrend right here. So we are looking at 0.2280 to 0.2450. 0.2280 to 0.2450. So we could be looking at this area of support for it to, retest, because it's going down right now, even with the positive net foreign buying. But this is definitely a new level of support that it's trying to hold up at around this price point on the daily chart. So let me just move that up. 23.20. Sorry, my bad. 23.20, that price point. It is trying to hold up that level. So it's trying to hold that, and we shall see if it does. If it does just that, because there is also a level of, this was a resistance before that was coinciding with this range. So we could just extend this a little bit. So hopefully that does hold up. 24.90. So let's just put it there. Let's close it at that. This level of support hopefully is maintained. Although we still see a bigger a downtrend right here, but it did push right above there. So if we see on our 1 hour time frame, okay, it's going sideways for now, but we definitely do see this resistance right here at 28.94 or 29. Let's close it at 29. So yes, it might still be going on this range, this bigger range, if it doesn't pierce below this level of support and go back to 21.50. So if it doesn't do that, we could be looking at a range right around this area. So we shall wait and see, because this is still going down. There's still quite a lot of trades, but it's still not pushing on the upside yet. So we shall wait and see. The stock that was pushing on the upside quite big as well today was Abacor. So it maintained this level of support right here at 1.1 to 1.2, and we did see a positive 7.83% gain, closing in at 1.24. So we do see this this range of support hold up, definitely on its accumulation phase right now, and our net foreign coming in at positive 1 million. So that's it for Abacor. It's still on this range, so we shall wait and see what it does, but for now it is on that range. So up next we have ACEN, where we also saw another breakdown. So kind of similar with Dito, it just pulled back on the upside right here, but got rejected and then it pushed back down. So we are seeing an immediate support at 6.92 to 7.2. It's still holding up this range of support, but it could potentially retest this this trend line, this downtrend line at 6.43. So we shall wait and see what it does, but if this support holds, we could be confident that it could potentially bounce from this price point at 6.9 levels, but definitely a bigger range now. If we test this is definitely a bigger range now till 8 pesos right here. From 7 to 8 pesos, that's now the bigger range, and we shall see what it does from here, because it could just go sideways from this area right now. So let's move to our next one with we're going through this kind of quick, but yeah, we are hoping for it to bounce right here. As we have expected, it is wanting to retest this level, as I've pointed out, from 6.3 to 6.5, and it's currently closed at 6.5, or a negative 3.27%. So it does want to retest it, and if it does hold up, we should be able to bounce off from here. So this is a good area to accumulate if you are looking to buy into this. If we look at the 1 hour time frame, yeah, it does want to touch it, and it did, and then wicked out for a bit. So if you want to accumulate right at this price point, make sure that you position yourself well and have your cut loss points right below the support level. So we shall see what happens for this one, but definitely have your cut loss points below here if the trade doesn't go according to your plan. And because this is a support level that was tested way back in early Feb, and then tested again towards the end of Feb, and then now in March it's being tested once more. So if it does bounce from this area, it could be a good range to buy into. So up next we have green, where we haven't looked at it in a while. It did decide to push up, and it hasn't pulled back yet. It almost did right here, but if we go to our 1 hour time frame, there's definitely a support level that it has built right around this area, 4.5 to around, let's see where it pulled back right here, 4.5 to around there, 4.64. So 4.5 to 4.65 is a good range for it to build some level of support, and we shall see what it does right here. Did we say 4.65 to 4.5? Yeah, 4.5 to 4.65 is a good level for it to build some level of support. So if it does hold up, and we see a pullback right here, because we saw it push above, got rejected, but it did test this level. Even though it closed up 4.83, it was only a positive 0.21% with some net foreign selling right there. So it definitely does want to retest this level again, the 4.5 to 4.65, and if it's something that suits your strategy, and if it does build a support right here, you could comfortably buy right there and have your cut loss points right below these resistances that could act as support. Yeah, so it could be a good accumulation zone as well right here at 4.5 to 4.65. So let's look at our last one with land. Land, what is land doing? So it did push up pretty high, up to 1.42. The high was 1.42 and opened at 1.19, so that was a push, but we closed at 1.02, so that's almost a 1% loss. So yeah, that's kind of sad, because it wicked out right here. So there was some massive rejection right on this area right here. So let's see what the story is on this one. So we had this level of resistance right around this zone for land that it was tested once, twice, and then on the third attempt it broke above, and now it wants to settle somewhere. So we don't know where it is yet, but we did see a little bounce right here. So we could be looking at this price point, to hold at 0.95 to 1. If it does that, that would be a great support for it to hold to 1.00. So let's see if it does build a level of support here, because we did see a rejection right there, but I think it could go push down a little bit more further, 0.9 maybe, or 0.95. But for now, this is what it's showing us, and it does have a bias on the downside with our profit takers, but definitely wanting to bounce a little bit and then probably retest this first before, you know, building a level of support right around here. So hopefully it does that for land to be a viable option to get into once again. So let's just do a quick recap on our PSE index. So let's see, yeah, massive move on the upside. We do see it here. From 6,700 we closed at 6,900 today, so it's been rallying up for the last 3 days, and it definitely wants to test this area right here on our trend line. And if it does that successfully and breaks above, we could be seeing a retest at 7,000 points. So that's good news for us, especially with all the catalysts that are coming out, especially the vaccine, I believe. So we shall see what it does on this symmetrical triangle that we have for our index. So let's see, I'm gonna remove the wick right there and move that right there, so we get a little bit more of a symmetrical triangle. So that's it for me for today. That's it for me. Yeah, I hope you guys picked up something from today's video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and that literally takes a second to do down below. So hopefully you can take something to use for your own trading, and as always, don't forget to stay patient, be disciplined, and strive to be consistent with your trading. I'll see you guys on the next video, which is tomorrow, and you guys have a great evening.